You know what time it is. It's time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop from Mr. Cooper, from Mr. Cooper, from Mr. Cooper. Hang with Mr. Coop, with Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper, with Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop from Mr. Cooper, from Mr. Cooper. Yeah.
Welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop. Big shout outs to everyone that's listening on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, wherever you're listening to. Big shout outs to you. If you want to catch the video version of this show, make sure you go to my website to catch full episodes at thebigscoopwithcoop.com. Also on YouTube at youtube.com/thebigscoopwithcoop. You can also catch a 15-minute preview of this episode right here on Instagram at Big Scoop with Coop. All right, people, enough about me. Today's guest, she has been killing it in the country music scene. She has made so many songs. She has made songs that's like Mix Two Bottles on My Side. Mama Tried, She Was Just a Child, and She Ain't the Marrying Kind. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Shelley Rae Speck. Now, Shelley Rae, like I said, she's been doing a lot of things in the music scene. She writes, she sings, she's also tutoring. She helped out Ashley Tisdale in Disney High School Musical. And she's helped out so many more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of The Big Scoop with Coop. We're going to talk to Shelley. We're going to find out about her career. We're going to find out about her music and so much more. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Miss Shelley Rae Speck. Miss Shelley Rae Speck, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. Now, Miss Shelley Rae, once again, how is your day going so far?
Day's going great. I'm out here in the Coachella Valley. It's absolutely beautiful. You know where the Coachella Festival is?
Mm-hmm.
It's magic. It's just magic. My day's going great. I took my puppies to the dog park, played some guitar, wrote some more material, and I'm just pleased as punch to be here.
Nice. Yes, ma'am, Miss Shelley Rae. I'm actually in North Carolina, so the breeze is going off and on. One day it want to be spring, one day it want to be summer, and then one day the wind want to pick back up. So we're in the 50s and 60s today. So I'm more of a spring summer type feel. So yeah. I am waiting for those 70 and 80 degrees continuously. That's what I'm waiting for. Yes, ma'am.
Good for you. Yeah, they're coming.
Yes, and I'm ready for them. Now, Ms. Speck, I'm just letting you know, you have done a lot of things in the music career. You have a lot of music that's out already. You've been doing big things. Now, for the people that just getting introduced to you for the first time, when did you first realize that you wanted to get into the music industry?
I was 12 years old, and I grew up in my mother had mostly jazz in Kansas City jazz, and she was big jazz aficionado as well as gospel. She loved gospel. We would go to gospel tents, and I'd just like be so enthralled with the chorus. So when I was 12 years old, I opened my mouth and I watched a show that I was inspired by. I picked up the guitar, picked up 3 chords right away, and started to sing. And like, I thought, I'm for sure going to sound like Mahalia Jackson or Beyonce or something. And I, ended up with this little soprano thing coming out. Have you heard the record?
Yes, I heard a bit of it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my voice is like sweet and country, and I did not expect that. But I had visions. I would practice in the bathroom and sing and play guitar. And I'd always picture myself on stage with, massive fans. And it bit me. It just bit me. It took me till about, at 13, I started performing at the USO. I did a USO tour. My parents got me out there. I did the Troubadour in Los Angeles and I played original material. And it was just something I had to do. It's beyond description. It's still with me today. It's just a drive to get my stories out there,
mm-hmm.
And I spent some time doing top 40 stuff. That was fun. And then I, you know, interject my originals, and people would come up and say, no, you have to do originals. You have to do originals. So I did, and had a couple of recording contracts and went well. And I just, you know, even now, the drive, since I moved here, I moved out of LA in 2016. Since I moved here, I can't stop writing. There's something about the desert. It's a vortex where I live.
Hmm.
And there's something about it that it just is peaceful, and you're just inspired all the time.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, Miss Shelley Rae, we're hearing about the peaceful side. We're hearing about the things that you've done for the top 40 and everything. But what type of hurdles did you go through when you first started up to now?
Great question. Wow. Lots. Especially when I started with my original material, I was in my 20s. And I was up against a wall because the labels would say, oh, we already have a chick singer. We already have, yeah, it was. And now, of course, women are dominating the charts. Look at Beyonce. She's like kicking it with Texas Hold'em. Oh my God, that song is amazing. But the hurdles, it's still a male dominated industry, and it's still tough. I still get, oh, you know, we have our Casey Musgraves, or we have our Miranda Lambert, or we have, you know, so and so. The hurdles sometimes were, I had, at one point, I had writer's block. And so I know, and I was like, I can't write. That's so weird. So I went to this place called the Groundlings. It's an improv comedy group,
Yeah.
and I took their course, and you had to be like spontaneous and just, and it got me out of it. And it was great fun. I wasn't very good at it, like, you know, but there were other people that were really, really good. So the hurdles are sometimes, you know, in the industry, you know, I had like 200 no's before I got a yes to a label, you know, that, and I wish I had like one phrase to give you for other people watching this
Hmm.
to get you through it. You just have to dig deeper into your faith and what your purpose here on this earth is. And my purpose is to tell those stories. My purpose is to sing my songs, tell the stories of others, tell the stories about, you know, Mama tried. She was just a child. That's a true story about my mama. We were poor, and it was rough. It was really, really rough. And yet she always had food on the table. She always got us to church on time in our little, you know, nice outfits. So that's what I would tell people that are battling. You know, your self-confidence can get shaken when you hear so many no's. And you just got to go deeper and just go, no, I know my purpose. My purpose is to sing, tell
Mhm.
my stories. And with other artists, my purpose is to sing in front of massive 10,000 people. If that's their purpose, if that's their real vision, then you got to hold to it. You got to just go back to that. You got to say, okay, that happened. You know, they didn't want me, but it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, because that's the attitude you need.
That's true. And you know what, Shelley? I tell people all the time, even in the movie industry, the music industry, I've talked to people in the past seasons, and I told them, in these industries, 100 no's equal one yes.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
got to have thick skin, because
Yeah,
if you're going to drop after the first or second no, trust me, you don't want to go, you don't want to dig deeper in any of
yeah,
these industries. You definitely don't. So
yeah.
congratulations, big shout outs to you, Shelley Rae, about doing this again. You stuck through it and you actually made it. Now, did you have any mentors to help you out in your career?
Not really. I had artists that I admired. Like I
Mhm.
admired Prince a great deal. Still admire Prince a great deal. I love neo folk like Joan Baez, Joni Mitchell. But I never really had someone to take me by the hand and kind of guide me through the process. You know, when I signed with the label, it was different. The label did that. The label, you know, they guided you through, and well, we don't like that particular song. Let's make it a single, you know, go back to the drawing board, that kind of thing. Um, but I didn't really have a mentor, anybody that I could call up and say, hey, I'm going through this, and
Right.
what do you recommend?
Right.
I had a manager once, but that was didn't work out very well.
I understand that happens sometimes. Now, you know what? I'm kind of glad you brought that up, Miss Shelley Rae, because you did sign for RCA
I
at one
did.
time, and you did a few records, probably about 3 or 4 of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Now, how excited were you when you actually first signed on that dotted line to actually work with RCA?
I was excited with my RCA contract. It was a what they call a spec deal.
Mhm.
They put me in the studio. In the studio, the band that I had an all male band, and we got compared to the Pretenders a lot.
Wow.
A lot. And we opened for like Mr. Mister. We opened for Sparks. We opened for Men at Work at the Whiskey. We opened for a lot of people. The band, it was a time where people were doing a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
And the band got involved in that, and everything fell apart with the RCA deal. And so after that happened, I decided that I loved the limos, and I loved the champagne and the limos, and all that was wonderful. I had a great agent who represented George Michael.
Oh,
and he
okay.
got us really good gigs. Rob Kahane is his name. He's fantastic.
Mhm.
So I guess what I ended up doing is signing with A&M Records publishing division, and I signed as a staff writer producer, so I could find artists, write with them, and then give it to A&M and say, what do you think, blah 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 blah. But
Mhm.
basically I sat in a room and wrote songs, and I had a quota. You have a quota. Yeah, you think you just signed that. When you sign a publishing deal, you have, like, they could say 20 songs a year, they could say 10, they could say 5, it depends.
And
And
you know,
our
and that's the thing, Shelley Rae. A lot of people think when you sign a deal on a contract, it's on my time. When I finish writing this, I will give it to them. Exactly. I'm glad what you did, because that's what the music company will do to you. If you
that's
think
what
you're going to do that and say, oh,
no.
it's on my time. So, ladies and gentlemen that's watching worldwide right now, if you're trying to get into the music industry, I don't care what genre you're trying to get into. If you think you're going to sign on that dotted line and say, I will make a song in 3 months and I'll just give it to them, no, it
No,
doesn't work that way.
no, it sure
Be
doesn't.
prepared. Be
Yeah,
prepared.
yeah.
Yes. Now, let's talk about one of these songs real quick.
That's really great that you said that, and to let people know that, because oftentimes you can deliver a whole record and the label will say, we hate it, we're not releasing it, your
Yep.
contract's over. You got to pay attention every step of the way. You got to be in touch with that A&R guy and saying, what do you think of this? I'm thinking of putting it on the record. You got to, it's due diligence. It's part of the industry.
Yes.
I'm
And you
glad
better
you said
have
that.
A&R on speed dial. You better
Yeah.
have it on speed dial. Seriously, if you get in this industry. Now, Shelley Rae, I want to speak about one of your songs that you done. When I first heard it, I was like, wow. And that is She Ain't the Marrying Kind.
Oh, cool.
Now, that song right there, I was like, wow. It seemed like you was kind of crossing the line of country to a little bit of pop to a certain extent. Can you talk about this song and how did you come up with it? And let's talk about the success of that song.
The success I'm hoping for now, by this release, I'm hoping to get other artists to do the songs. I've targeted like Sheryl Crow, Wynonna Judd, Shania Twain would be perfect for that song. She Ain't the Marrying Kind. Kelly Clarkson is also, singers, real singers. I'm a singer and I do it well. I did the demo. I'm fine, but I know that Shania Twain would kill it. So the answer to your question is, repeat the question. I got sidetracked.
No, that's fine. How did you come up with the song, and
Yeah.
how do you feel about the success of the song so far?
I feel that the success is really the critical success is good. I'd like everyone to go to Spotify.com and go to Shelley Rae Speck and listen and follow. That song is a really interesting thing. I was working with a drummer at the time, a female drummer. She was like outstanding, Vicky Stewart.
Mhm.
And so we got to talking about, relationships and and she said, I said, I'm just not good at it, which is true. I'm so self-absorbed as a writer, and everything else is like, that's all I can pay attention to. So she said, yeah, I ain't the marrying kind. And I just went, song title. And I changed it, to She Ain't the Marrying Kind, because I've been married. I'm not the marrying kind, but She Ain't the Marrying Kind I wrote because I wrote it, and it's about a story about an independent woman taking a road trip by herself in a convertible Cadillac, and just the things that she comes across. She goes cross country. She goes back to my home state of Missouri, and she takes all these back roads and stuff, and she has all these adventures. And she's by herself the whole time. She's just digging life, being free. So she goes up to a truck stop sign up in Joplin, Missouri, and she sees a little black and white stray dog, and she's like, oh, gotta get that dog. And so the end of the story is she has a companion, but she's not tied down, because she just can't be tied down. And that's the storyline.
You know what, Shelley? You may want to think about this now. That song could be converted to a movie also.
Wow.
It really
Let me write that
could.
down.
Yes, write that down. It could be. Movie producers, filmmakers is out there is watching this episode right now. You may want to get up with Shelley Rae Speck, because you have a song that's already made that could be on the soundtrack and the theme of the movie right here. She Ain't the
Wow.
Marrying Kind. You guys might want to catch up with her, link up with her. This is a movie in the making right here.
Thank you so much for that shout out. I appreciate that.
Do it,
Yeah.
do it.
Now,
You
see,
know
I would not have thought about that, but thank you.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Now, you know what? You done more than just write, though. And you done more than just songs. I'm about to tell the world about something that you've done that I'm going to brag about. You have helped people in vocal coaching.
Yeah.
You help people from oh gosh, what is the name of that? It's a Disney movie.
High School Musical. Yeah.
Yes.
Ashley Tisdale was one of my students.
Yes. You've helped her. You helped a few other people that's opened up for other people also.
Ricky Luna. Do you know Ricky Luna?
Mhm.
I worked with him. He was part of the new Mickey Mouse Club. He was one of my students.
So
myriad of the Disney kids I worked with.
So how was that experience, and seeing the success of your coaching hit these movies? How did you feel?
When you mention vocal coaching, I get a big smile on my face, because it's different than when you're writing, which is a solitary thing, unless you're working with another artist, working with another writer. My vocal coaching practice started, I took on a student who took on an artist that I found at A&M when I was under contract with A&M. She was Miss Ohio. And I worked with her. Now, she had sort of a pageant style singing. And so the label said, well, we don't want that. We want pop. So my whole thing would be to take students that had different backgrounds and to teach them pop, like straight up, which is still my number one. Love it. I love country and pop. Country pop is the best. But so I took, her name is Mary Zilba. I took her, and she taught her how to sing pop songs, and she did very well. When I got Ashley was on Broadway at 8 years old in Les Mis. And so she had great Broadway singing ability. And when she first came, I love telling this story. When she first came, Disney sent me her because they wanted to do a record. So they sent me her. And so I realized that, we'd have to teach her a pop style rather than a Broadway style. And she came, and she was quite young, like maybe 15. I think she just finished Zack and Cody.
Okay.
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. So I think she just finished that. And Hollywood Records was grooming her, and she came and she took the first lesson. She said, I want to come 3 times a week. I want to come. She was such a professional. And I said I couldn't take her because her vocal cords were too young. I couldn't take her 3 times a week. I had to make sure that she was solid, that she had a solid foundation. And sure enough, within 3 months, she was coming 3 times a week. And the next thing you know, she has a multi-million record, that first record that she put out. So it absolutely warms my soul. It absolutely warms. Like Ricky now is a huge producer.
Mhm.
He's doing really great, and we stay connected through Facebook. So the success of those and many others who did other things, like I even taught like attorneys at some time that lost their voice and they had trial and they're like, I would teach them voice. They'd come for voice lessons. And
I've never heard of an attorney getting
yeah,
voice lessons.
Yeah, they came to learn the instrument. It's an instrument, and you have to talk. You talk properly. You talk from the diaphragm.
Mhm.
But a lot, like he came in and he said, "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury," I'm like, "Oh no, it's breath." Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, pause. My client is not guilty. So we worked on his speech for the jury. But I love vocal coaching. I still do it occasionally if I feel like a student is really gun ho and has it takes a lot. It takes a
Yes.
lot. It's a discipline, as you know.
Man, big shout outs to Ashley Tisdale. You're doing
Yeah.
big things. Continue to do what you do. Every attorney that has won a case because of Shelley Rae, send her a fourth of your check. No, send her half of your check, because if she didn't teach you how to talk again, you wouldn't have won that case.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I said it. Don't go to Shelley Rae. You go to me if you got a problem with that. Send her half of your check. That's how we're going to do it here. Now, Shelley Rae, I want to ask you a question, a what if question.
Sure.
Now, you've worked with some people, you've met a lot of people, you're doing your thing in music. Can you name one person or one group that you would love to do a collab with on a song that haven't been written or that's written already? And you can't use She Ain't the Marion Con, because you already said that one.
Yeah.
Is it any other song or any other group?
God, I would die to collaborate with Beyonce. I would die. She is, I used to ask my students, what's your favorite song this week? Well, this past 2 years has been Beyonce, because she's unstoppable. And her crossover into country is like a blessing. Country needed that fresh air, and that song is just amazing. So I would love to be able to collaborate with Beyonce.
Nice. Hey, Beyonce, if you're watching this, you know what to do. It's time. You stepped into this world right here. You stepped into this genre. You better get with her. You see her right there. Get with her. Get with Shelley Rae. Let's work something out. Going to collab it up. That's what I'm talking about. Now, Shelley Rae, is there any other projects that you're working on right now that you want the world to know about?
Yeah, I plan to do another release. I'm going to try to do a release every 3 months. I'm doing another release, and it's just going to be acoustic.
Okay.
Just me and my guitar and my vocal booth here at home, my studio here at home. And
Nice.
it's just an acoustic guitar. Play you some of it. Let me play. Oh, should I wait?
Yeah, let's hold on for that one. Yeah, we go get to that in 1 minute. We definitely are.
Okay.
Y'all see her, ladies and gentlemen. She's ready for that guitar.
I love my guitar. Her name is Maybelline.
Oh, Maybelline, you're coming on the show in 1 minute. Trust me. You better get ready. Don't be shy, Maybelline. You better play like you never played before.
She won't be shy.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, Shelley Rae, what is the best way for everyone to follow you on Instagram? Well, social media. I don't want to say Instagram.
Social media. I'm on Instagram, Shelley Rae Speck. Facebook, Shelley Rae Speck. Facebook artist page, Shelley Rae Speck. Spotify, Shelley Rae Speck. And if you're going to go to Spotify, follow me. Follow me. Not just listen, just hit that follow button and follow me, because it helps the audience build.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to correct
I also want to say I have a website, Shelley Rae Speck Music. com, which is a website that will link you to all these other platforms.
Nice. Nice. I will correct something that Shelley Rae Speck just said. It's not if you go to Spotify. When you go to Spotify, you make sure you click that follow button. You're going to follow her because you're going to love this music. That's one thing you want to do. Make sure you follow her on social media. Go follow it. Not right now because you're watching this interview. After this interview, you better go to every social media page you can think of. Go to her website. Go to Spotify. Check out all her music. That's something you do not want to miss. Shelley Rae Speck, make sure you do that. Now, what advice would you give any male or female that wants to get into the music industry?
Toughen up. But more than that, more than just toughen up and get some thick skin, because that's such a cliche. Mm-hmm. It's true. It's absolutely true. But what I have found that's even better than that is have faith. You got to have faith, to quote George Michael. You got to have the faith in yourself, the belief that you are here on this planet to do the work that you're doing or about to do. And that's easily cultivated, you know, whether you're religious or not religious, or whether you just like metaphysics and believe that, you know, we're stardust. It all comes back to ambition. The ambition of wanting to show yourself off. So that's my advice.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, watching worldwide, I hope you've been taking in these notes that Shelley Rae has been giving you. If you want to get in the music industry, you got to start off with faith, because if you don't believe you can make it, you won't make it. So you got to have the faith to make it. Now, Shelley Rae Speck and Miss Maybelline, this is the last episode. I mean, oh no, it's not the last episode. Whoa. No,
we're friends now.
Yes, this is not the last episode. This is the last segment of the show. It's called Take the Floor. Now, Shelley Rae, you have up to 2 minutes to say whatever you want to. No questions asked. Shelley Rae Speck, Maybelline, take the floor.
All right, baby. You asked for it.
I did.
She keeps her key in the ignition, just in case you're wishing that you might stay over. Well, she can't do that. No, she can't do that. She got the top down on her Cadillac, looking back, double yellow line staring right back. Right back. Oh, yeah, she got it, she gets it. Every time she falls in love, it's only for a minute. Oh, yeah, she got it. Yeah, she's tied together, but she ain't tied down. She ain't the marrying kind. Bet you're gonna find someone who will walk on down the aisle. Wedding bells will chime. She's at the Jackson County line. Could use a glass of wine. Radio blasting Patsy Cline. She can't help it if she ain't the marrying kind. Maybelline.
That's what I'm talking about. Good job, Maybelline. You didn't fail. You definitely didn't fail. Shelley Rae Speck, you killed it.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen,
so much.
Once again, go to Spotify. Get this music. Get the music. Get the music. I can't stress that enough. Go get the music. Go to the website. Make sure you go to every social media page she is on. You want to follow her for the latest and greatest. And just remember what she said. She got a project coming out. It's an acoustic coming up soon. You want to make sure you want to check that out. So make sure you follow her so you won't miss one thing that she is doing. Shelley Rae Speck, I want to thank you for coming on the show. And I would love to have you back in the future.
Thank you so much. I look forward to it. And thank you so much. You're so inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to make sure you check out everything once again that Shelley Rae Speck is doing. And my next guest on the Big Scoop with Coop is, you know I don't announce my next guest. You better follow me on social media at Big Scoop with Coop to find out the latest and greatest of what I got coming on next. Until next time, people, on the Big Scoop with Coop. Peace.